Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. It's Friday. It's a football Friday for many people in the high school world. Good luck to those who are playing their final game of the season. And if that game means you're in the playoffs or you're not in the playoffs, here's to luck, here's to health. For those who have already secured their spot, congratulations. It's going to be a great Friday. It's going to be a chilly Friday, especially if you are in Georgia. The temperatures have officially dropped. Fall decided to come midway through the week. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens tonight. I think that sometimes we hear things and we tend to dismiss them regardless of how worthwhile the words are, how valuable the words are. That's a mistake on our part. And I will even lay claim to it. I'm not just pointing the finger. We, for some reason, tend to want to hear our messages from particular messengers instead of just appreciating and understanding and valuing the message itself. David Carr, the quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, came out and talked about the situation with Henry Ruggs, and he said that, man, I'm going to support him. I'm going to love him because he needs to be loved right now. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said all of those good things that you would love to hear, and he was praised for it. I remember he was praised for it. But that same gentleman talked about being there for Jon Gruden. He talked about still caring for Jon Gruden and being there if he needed him. And people were like, nah, man. And it got me to thinking, if it was one of the black players on the team who had came out and said that they were going to be there, that they were going to support Jon Gruden, would they have been vilified, or would somebody have said, oh my gosh, look at him, trying to extend the olive branch? These messages, this message that Carr sent out, it was the same message. Nothing changed with that message. The message was one of love. The message says, I understand people do bad things, but you can love the person and not the action. Shouldn't we all feel that way? Isn't that why people who are family and friends to people who murder, people who commit other maybe nonviolent crimes, drug addicts, alcoholics, isn't that the reason that we still try to love them? Is because you're supposed to love the person and not the action? I have a son. If my son was to commit a crime and I knew about it, and that crime was a harmful crime, I would turn my son in. You know why? Because I can't take the chance of the world catching him and doing something worse. I can condemn that action while also still supporting and loving him, so that when he was done paying his debt to society, he had a track back. Isn't that what we all supposed to do? This Henry Ruggs situation, man, it is awful. And I've seen way too many people come down on the side of, oh my God, they should take all of his money away. You think right now Henry Ruggs is sitting in a jail cell or in his home, wherever he might be right now? You think that man is thinking about his money? This is a young man who had to lose a best friend to a car accident only to then be the reason that somebody else lost their life to a car accident? You don't think he's dealing with mental health issues on a level that some of us will never have to deal with? You think money's on his mind? You think playing on a Sunday night is on his mind right now? You people are dense. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he ruined his NFL career like that. No, people, he ruined his life. But it shouldn't be the end of him. I know it's hard to say. Because he essentially ended someone else's life. But he has to live with that for the rest of his life. He has to deal with the pain and the scars that are going to come with the fact that he knows he took another person's life because he was careless. But that does not mean his life should be over. Should he pay his debt to society? Absolutely. Do I know what that debt should be? No, that's not for me to decide. Should there be some type of remuneration for this young lady? Nothing will bring her back. But should there be something? Absolutely. Do I think Henry Ruggs will willingly do it? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, he's 21, 22 years old, 23 years old. He's going to have to live the rest of his life. Even if he did 20 years in jail, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's not going to do 20 years in jail. But even if he does 20 years in jail, he's 43 years old. I'm 41. He still hopefully has a lot of life left. What is he going to do with it? How is he going to make himself a better person? How is he going to make sure that he pays that forward so that others don't make the same mistake that he made? How many people, knowing what he just did, what he is about to go through, still got in a car, intoxicated, and drove? How many people with means to be able to call an Uber, have a driver, have a friend pick them up, still chose to grab the keys and get behind the wheel of a car? This isn't just Henry Ruggs. He's just high profile, so we hear about it. So now, how does that action now become something that's actionable? How do we then use this to better something else? So many times, though, we'll say these things, we'll put these messages out there, and because we are not this person or that person, it falls on deaf ears. In the sports world, it's the same thing. Because, see, I don't even consider that a sports story, but I know a lot of people do. But in the sports world, it's the same thing. People banging the table. Lamar Jackson is great. Lamar Jackson is great. Lamar Jackson is great. But it's only until certain people say it that it begins to catch traction. It's only until certain people say it that it begins to catch traction. I remember Kirk Herbstreit coming out when all of the things were going on in this world, and you know, Black Lives Matter was the mantra, and minorities in this country were seemingly fed up with being what seemed to be hunted. And Kirk Herbstreit came out with a passionate plea. And it was received with so much love and so much understanding and so much caring. And I appreciate Kirk Herbstreit coming out and saying that. But why does it take Kirk Herbstreit saying it when athletes that are Black, when people who are Black, when reporters that are Black, who are minorities, have been saying the same thing over and over and over again? Why does it take a Kirk Herbstreit to move the needle? Shouldn't we care about the message and not the messenger? I'm asking that as a question. It's not a rhetorical. I wish it was a rhetorical because it should be, but it's not. When I say, hey, you know, police are killing young black men, and the response is, well, young black men are killing young black men. What am I supposed to do with that? You missed the message. You missed the message and you changed it for whatever you wanted to change it for. Until somebody that you value says police are killing young black men. Then it matters. Women are being abused. It falls on deaf ears until the right person says, hey man, women are being abused out here. Then all of a sudden we're all ears. Hey, respect this person's right to identify however they want to identify. Nobody is willing to step up until the right person says it, and then it becomes a movement. Let's stop waiting for the right person, and let's start taking advantage of the right message. If the message is pure, if the message is right, it should not matter who brings the message to us. We should accept it as what it is, a really good message. Prayers are up to everybody out there. If you're dealing with something, if you're going through something, if you've made a mistake, if you've been wronged, to whomever you pray to, whomever you feel is that entity that keeps you going, I really do hope that you're able to find peace and grace. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining us. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Until next time, peace.